Hi guys! 2 seconds before I started filming, I broke my chair. I don't know how I did this. I have no idea how I did this. And now probably have to pay for a new chair for the accommodation. I have no words. Well, either way, let's get into the video. So today I was thinking about talking about how to deal with school stress and assignments, since it's a subject or matter that is very close to my heart, since I am in the middle of the tornado that I am sure many of you may be watching go through as well. And I know it can get like really stressful after so much procrastinating. You have so much to do and you haven't done anything, but then suddenly you have to do it all. So, and honestly, it feels like your head is gonna explode. I'd like to tell you and show you some of the things that I do that make me survive through the exams, the essays, and all assignments that you might have with school. So, hope you enjoy. First of all, when starting the process of actually doing something, when you realize, okay, I have not done anything, I have so much to do, and it's the first feeling of feeling so lost, and you feel like your head is gonna explode, you feel depressed, you're like, you don't know what to do. And honestly, the first tip I can give you is that if you want to cry, cry. I did that. I can tell you that. I had to write 3 essays in like 3 weeks, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know if I could do it. I just felt like crying. And honestly, what I did, I cried, and after that I felt a lot better. Just let the emotions out, because if you build it in, it's going to be even worse. I felt like calm, I felt peaceful, I felt good, and I was like, okay, now I can start working again. But you just have to let all the stressful emotions out first. But you have to be careful also there are different kinds of people. If you're that kind of person who just like, if you start crying then you just can't stop and you feel even worse and worse, then do not do that. It depends on this is just completely from my point of view. But for me, it really helped, and I felt like, okay, I've done that, I've cried, okay, I'm past that now, and I can move forward. The second tip that I have is probably the most important one, and it is to be organized, and you need to chop up your work. For example, I had 3 essays, and I was thinking like, I don't know where to begin. Where do I begin when it's like I have to do everything, and you just can't start, because it's like you're thinking of doing everything at the same time. But it does not work like that. There are different ways you can manage what you do, and for me it's just easier to like chop up the work into smaller segments. Here's an example. What I have done is that I put, like, for example, I had to do a brochure, so it says brochure, and I have all these different things that I need to do, and like chop it up. Like, first of all, like information search, then like read the introductions, read this, read that, okay, write one body paragraph, write the second paragraph, third one, and so on. It's easier when you follow your progress, because it doesn't work if you have just like write the essay and then you're gonna tick it, because then you feel like you're not doing anything, and you feel better about yourself when you cross out smaller segments. When I had to write essays, I put like, okay, read 3 academical articles today. And then I had for the next day as well, okay, find 3 academical articles that you can use in the essay, and so on and so on. Into smaller segments, but it's like specific ones. And you have to be careful that they're that kind of things that you are capable of doing. If you feel like, don't put your goals too high, because if you can't do it, then it's going to it will feel even worse. Some people like to do time plans, which can definitely work for some people. I personally, time plans personally do not work for me, because I always put too much on one day. If you do time plans, they can be great if you know how to do them and you do them good, maybe. I don't know how to say it. But for example, for me, if I do a time plan, I put way too much stuff on like each day. Like, okay, Monday, I'll read like 2 chapters, then I'll write this and this and this. But when the day comes, and if I have like some sudden stuff that I can't do it, or just like, I just feel like having a day off, or I'm sick, or whatever happens, and I just realize, oh my god, I just don't have the time. Then I'm like late, and then it's the next day already, and I have set up everything I need to do for the next day. So then I have to do the stuff for the next day, and then from the previous day, and it just keeps going, and then I just give up. I give up. I'm like, I can't do anything anymore. Like, it fails, and I just throw it in the trash, because then it makes you see even more like what you are not doing. Like, because if you're missing out on something, you see even worse, like, oh my god, okay, I didn't do this today, and I have to do that tomorrow. So maybe if you do time plans, if you're a good time plan person, and it so much depends on the person, if it works for you, then go for it. But for maybe if someone's kind of more like me, that I put too tight timelines on it, then maybe try, instead of like specific days, then just put like maybe weekly. Like, if you have that much time. Obviously I did not have that much time when I had to write my essays because of my personal issues, but if you have, then you can be like, okay, on this week I will try to do these things. It's not like restricted to a specific day or like time when you have to do it, and you just have the entire week to do it, and you can do it whenever you feel like it. Method that really works for me is the checklists. I like to do checklists because there's no timelines, but I can assemble my thoughts. Otherwise it's just a big thing, because if I think of it, it's just like, okay, I have an essay, I need to write an essay, it's here. It's just a big blump. I don't know what the word for it is. Just when I put it to smaller segments, I can do them one by one, and I do it when I feel like it. Obviously, and I do not set any timelines for myself. Obviously I have like some just normal and smart timelines. Obviously my timelines will be like, okay, I need to return the essay on this day, which means obviously I will do it by then. But it's not such as so specific. But in my head I have kind of timelines, but I do not put it on the paper, because if it's on the paper and if I fail, then it's like the entire system fails for me, and I just give up, and then I'm like back at square one, unfortunately. What I really suggest you to do is that try out different things. Try out the time plan, try out a checklist, try out different methods that you can think of, because in the end you're a unique person, and you need to find out what's the method for you that makes you motivated to study, and how you will be able to keep up with the work. Okay, tip number 3. Very, very important is that when you get into the studying, okay, you have a time plan and you start to do some stuff. Also, even though you might have a really stressful time, you might have a really tight deadline, do not overwork, because it's even worse than working a lot is like not taking breaks. You have to take breaks. Go walk outside, do whatever. You need to get your mind off the work, even just for a little while, like just small breaks whatsoever. I'm that kind of person that I get really bored easily to study and all that, so I honestly take like every 1 hour, like probably every hour, every 2 hours, depends what I'm doing, but sometimes take like every 2 hours I take like a maybe half an hour break. But it's literally just what kind of person you are, because that works for me, so you have to find out what works for you, because it will clear your thoughts. And also when you have a break, and then when you get back to, for example, if you are writing an essay and you've been writing, you're like, oh, okay, it's fine. Then you go walk outside and you kind of get clearer thoughts. You're not thinking about the essay so much. And when you come back to the essay and you read it again, and you might be like, oh, actually, I'm gonna change this, and this is better. I think this could be better. And you notice these small things that you did not see before, because you are more able to look at the essay or your assignment from the outside point of view. You're not, because when you're writing it, you can't. It's hard to like try to criticize your own work, obviously, because you're just like, oh yeah, I wrote it. It's cool. And about taking breaks, I have noticed one very important thing. It's what my mom actually told me when I was like so stressing, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't have any time and all that, and I'm just stressing, but I'm really tired and I can't do anything, but I need to do. And my mom was just like, allow yourself to take a day off. And honestly, so far I think that might have been one of the best advices that I have gotten, because you feel guilty when you do not study. So it's so important that you allow yourself to have these breaks. And honestly, I've noticed it's like it's fine, you can like study, but you need a complete day off, and then you can just zero out. If you say to yourself, okay, this will be my day off, I'm not gonna think about studying at all, then you feel so much better in the next day and also in the day. Because if you're having a day off, but you're still thinking about the work, you're not actually relaxing or anything. When you watch Netflix, you don't feel guilty, whatever you do. Tip number 4 is when you're writing your essay, is try out different study environments, because some might work better for you than others, and also the time of studying you are doing. Because, for example, for me, it's like, I don't really like to study at home. I love being home, it's comfortable, I have my chair, which is now broken, and I have my bed and I have everything here. But it's also a bad thing, because I have everything here. I have my TV here, I have my PlayStation here, I have my everything here. It's so easy to get distracted and also get more tired, because it's my bed, so I know I'm just like, well, if I'm tired, I'll go straight to sleep. But for me, it's like, I need to go somewhere else so I can concentrate better and I don't have so much of these distractions. And what I've been doing a lot, I have been going to the library like crazy, and I've been going there since I also noticed, because in the night, library is completely empty, and I have been going there from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. I literally been writing my essay all that time, but we have a great library in the school. It's there's such comfortable, this private sofa thing, I don't know what you call it, but it's amazing. And it's really been helping me when I have a different kind of environment where I can study, and it really helps me to focus. But also I have my laptop, so I still will have my breaks in the library. But changing the environment is very good. Also, if you have good weather, go study outside. We had an amazing week here in Scotland, 1 week when it was just so hot and warm. And I literally took my laptop with my friend and we went outside the university on these benches, and I was writing my essay with literally just a t-shirt. It was so good. So really think about the environment where you're studying, or could there be a better environment for you to study in maybe. But that's the things you need to find out. Also, you should try to waking up in different hours. For example, try to wake up really early and try to see, okay, how do you study early in the morning, during the day, or during the night? Just try everything out. You will definitely find out more things about yourself, because that's what I did. I did not think, because I love sleeping more than anything in this world, not think that there would be a possibility that I would ever be able to study in the library until 2 a.m. But it happened, and it actually really worked for me. This next tip really depends on your personality, but also you might think about the company you're studying with. You like to study alone, with a friend, or maybe just in kind of a public space where there's some sort of background noise. There are so different kinds of people, because sometimes some people love the quiet rooms and just love to be in a quiet room, and that's actually me sometimes, but not always. I personally found that I really like to write an essay with a friend. It's obviously, we don't even talk that much, about the essay, unless I'm just hey, what's a good word for this term? But we don't really talk about that, so it's we're quiet, but we write. It's still a feeling, even though you're not speaking, but you're in the same space with someone else, and you can, because you feel the presence, it kind of gives you the motivation and power rather than being alone, because you're both in it together, so you're kind of supporting each other through it, even though it's non-verbal. That's kind of easier. When I was in the library a lot, I was with my friend there, and that's why we were there for so late. I would never be there that late on my own, even though we did not talk a lot, but it's just kind of that extra push. And also when you need like some small or bigger help, like they're there, you can just ask them. So I think that's really amazing. And my last tip is like when you're doing some intense studying, stay hydrated, eat well, exercise. Okay, that's the old blah 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 that everyone says, and it's obvious. Like stay hydrated, snack, eat, exercise. It's the good things that you're supposed to be doing. What I found helpful is staying hydrated. I drink a lot, which is very important, and also snack a lot. Honestly, give yourself a permission. I probably have spent, in the last few weeks, I probably spent 30 pounds on Twix bars in the school library. I know this is not a good advice or a popular one, but honestly, when you're doing something, you need that little extra something. I like to snack on something, obviously it tastes good and all that, and when you need to reward yourself when you're doing something. That's my opinion. I need to reward myself. I'm actually doing something, then yeah, I can eat some shit in the same time. So definitely don't just listen to my weird Twix advice, because that's not all it. And also the snacks are like completely whatever you want it to be. I love like grapes and all that kind of stuff. So just eat healthy if you can, exercise if you can, but stay hydrated. And also, don't beat yourself over it if you feel like, oh, I'm just eating shit and I'm like not doing anything. But no, honestly, when you have a lot of stress and all that, it's okay. Take that time for yourself. Be fat. Eat like, don't eat completely bad and like too heavy, because then you will feel heavy. But like snack like unhealthy stuff, like it's fine. You need that boost. Get that boost for yourself, because always in the end all the essays will come to an end and there is time to become healthy again. I still have not done that. So that was my last tip. Well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it might have given you some good thoughts. Maybe you knew them, maybe you didn't, I don't know. Let me know if you found it helpful. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I guess see you in my next video. And trust me, no matter how stressed you're feeling, you are not alone. There's millions of people going through the same thing right now, and I am with you. I am one of them. I'm here with you. Whatever you need, if you want, message me and I can stress with you and we will get through this together. It's just the student life. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you later. Bye!